Throughout history, humanity has faced mysteries that remain unsolved, cases that shook the world and baffled investigators, events that left behind unanswered questions with no clear explanation. Some of these mysteries turned into legends passed down through generations. Others still spark debates even today. In this list, we uncover 10 of the most mysterious unsolved cases in history. Real stories documented by records, but left without a definitive ending. One, the disappearance of Amelia Earhart. In 1937, Amelia Earhart set out on a journey to fly around the world in her Lockheed Electra. She had already become famous as the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. Her flight began from Miami, passing through South America and Africa. She continued across the Indian Ocean with her navigator Fred Noonan. The final leg aimed toward Howland Island in the middle of the Pacific. On July 2nd, she departed from Lae in New Guinea, heading toward Howland. Weather was cloudy and radio communication was weak. She sent several short messages describing difficulty locating her position. Her last recorded words were, "We are on line 157-337. We will repeat this message." After that, all contact was lost. The U.S. Navy launched one of the largest search operations in history. Warships and planes covered thousands of miles. But no wreckage was ever found. The disappearance became one of aviation's greatest mysteries. Theories suggested the plane crashed and sank into the ocean. Others claimed she landed on a deserted island. Stranger theories spoke of capture or secret missions. Decades passed with no solid proof. Searches continue to this day, leaving the fate of Amelia Earhart one of history's greatest unsolved enigmas. Two, Jack the Ripper. Murders in 1888. London was shaken by a series of brutal murders in Whitechapel. The victims were women working the streets at night. The killer attacked with savage precision. Police received letters signed Jack the Ripper. The crimes caused widespread panic across the city. Investigators struggled with little evidence. Newspapers fueled the fear with daily coverage. Some witnesses reported a mysterious man lurking in the fog. The murders stopped as suddenly as they began. Dozens of suspects were questioned. Doctors, butchers, and local residents were all investigated, but no one was ever charged. The case remained unsolved despite massive efforts. The name Jack the Ripper became legendary. Historians and criminologists revisited the case many times. DNA tests on old evidence gave no final answer. Theories pointed to surgeons, immigrants, or even royalty, yet none were proven. The true identity of Jack the Ripper remains unknown, making it one of the darkest mysteries in criminal history. Three, the Zodiac Killer. In the 1960s and 70s, California faced a wave of unsolved killings. The killer called himself the Zodiac. He sent cryptic letters and ciphers to newspapers. Some codes remain unbroken even today. The victims were often young couples in isolated spots. He deliberately taunted the press and the police. Threats included attacks on school buses. Investigators collected thousands of reports and interviews. Suspects were identified, but never confirmed. A few survivors described a man with glasses and dark clothing. The ciphers became puzzles for experts worldwide. One major code was solved after more than 50 years. The killings stopped suddenly without explanation. Some believed the Zodiac died or went to prison for another crime. Others thought he blended back into society. Law enforcement agencies could not close the case. the Zodiac remains a chilling figure in American crime, and his identity continues to spark debates and theories. Four, the Bermuda Triangle Mystery. In the Atlantic Ocean lies a region known as the Bermuda Triangle. It became infamous for unexplained disappearances. In 1945, Flight 19, a group of Navy bombers, vanished without a trace. The rescue plane sent after them disappeared as well. Cargo ships and private yachts also went missing over the decades. Pilots reported compass failures and strange conditions. Official reports suggested storms or human error. Some scientists pointed to methane gas eruptions from the seafloor. Yet the public focused on supernatural explanations. Theories about alien abductions grew popular. Others claimed it was a gateway to another dimension. Despite the mystery, the area is one of the busiest routes in the world. Thousands of flights and ships pass safely each year. Still, the disappearances remain unexplained in many cases. The Bermuda Triangle continues to symbolize the unknown, and its legend endures as one of the greatest maritime mysteries. Five, the Dyatlov Pass Incident. In 1959, 9 experienced hikers set out into the Ural Mountains of Russia. When they did not return, search teams began looking. Their tent was found torn open from the inside. Bodies were discovered scattered across snow-covered terrain. Some were barefoot and lightly dressed despite freezing weather. Others had severe internal injuries without external wounds. One victim was missing her tongue. Footprints showed they fled in panic. There were no signs of an attack by humans or animals. Investigators could not find a clear explanation. The report mentioned an unknown compelling force. Theories included an avalanche or military weapons testing. Others pointed to strange lights seen in the sky. The Soviet authorities closed the case quickly. Later reviews reopened public interest, but no evidence solved the riddle. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains unsolved, a chilling mystery that still puzzles researchers more than 60 years later. Six, the Somerton Man, Tamam Shud Case. In 1948, a man's body was discovered on Somerton. 7. The Lost Roanoke Colony. In the late 1500s, English settlers founded a colony on Roanoke Island. Their leader, John White, returned to England for supplies. The war with Spain delayed his voyage back. When he finally returned 3 years later, the colony was deserted. Houses stood empty and farmland abandoned. No signs of struggle or battle were present. The only clue was the word Croatoan carved into a post. Some believed the colonists joined nearby native tribes. Others thought they died from disease or starvation. No evidence ever confirmed either theory. Archaeologists found only scattered artifacts. Historians debated the disappearance for centuries. The fate of the colony was never solved. The story became one of America's oldest mysteries. The lost colony of Roanoke remains unexplained, and its disappearance is still studied today. Eight, the Black Dahlia Murder. In 1947, the body of Elizabeth Short was found in Los Angeles. She had been brutally murdered and cut in half. The crime scene was carefully arranged. Newspapers nicknamed her the Black Dahlia. The shocking details made headlines worldwide. Police questioned hundreds of suspects. Doctors and surgeons were considered due to the precision of the cuts. No charges were ever filed. The case grew colder with each passing year. Rumors spread about her personal life and connections. Hollywood became fascinated with the case. Books and films dramatized the murder. Amateur investigators proposed their own theories. Some even accused powerful figures. But none of the claims were proven. The Black Dahlia murder remains one of the most infamous unsolved crimes in American history. The Isdal Woman. In 1970, a body was found in a remote valley in Norway known as Isdalen. The woman had been badly burned. Nearby were bottles of liquor and sleeping pills. Investigators discovered she used multiple fake identities. Passports with different names were traced to her. She stayed in hotels across Europe before her death. She frequently changed clothes and wigs. Her hotel room was emptied of labels and personal items. Fingerprints had been deliberately removed. The autopsy could not confirm the exact cause of death. Police suspected suicide, but evidence suggested murder. Some believed she was a spy during the Cold War. Others claimed she was involved in secret intelligence missions. Despite international inquiries, her identity was never uncovered. The Isdal Woman remains one of Norway's most mysterious, unsolved cases. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370. On March 8, 2014, Flight MH370 departed Kuala Lumpur heading to Beijing. Less than an hour later, contact was lost. No distress call was sent. The plane disappeared from civilian radar screens. Military data showed it changed course unexpectedly. It continued flying for several hours over the Indian Ocean. Massive search operations were launched involving dozens of countries. Billions were spent scanning the ocean floor. Some debris was found on distant beaches, but the main wreckage was never located. Families of passengers demanded answers. Theories ranged from mechanical failure to deliberate action by the crew. Others pointed to possible hijacking or electronic interference. No theory was ever confirmed. The disappearance of MH370 remains one of the greatest aviation mysteries in history. A tragedy that continues to haunt investigators and families alike. These 10 cases are not ordinary events. They are mysteries that challenged investigators and defied explanations. Despite decades of research and countless theories, no final answers were given. They remain open files in human history. Powerful reminders that some truths may never be revealed, and that mystery itself continues to shape our world.